What's good? It's March the 20th, 2025. This is Shane's Views Weekly Podcast. As I always come to you with the realest news. And there's other people out there that are going to report the same stuff that I do, and that know the deal, that that are about America First agenda, that are about the right things going on in the world. Then you're going to have all these fake news, legacy media losers that keep getting funded by Soros and some of these other losers, and are going to report bullshit and fake news all the time. Until we put them out of business, which is going to be very shortly. So let me get into it real quick. Let's talk about what's gone on in the last week. Executive order was put in place by President Trump for the Aliens Act of 1798. So why was this put into, why was this executive order signed by President Trump? It's been signed a few times before. There's the issue we have here is that we have corrupt judges that are trying to go against the America First Donald Trump agenda. And, they're trying to, this one loser judge, I don't even want to say his name, I don't even want to give him any recognition, but, we have illegal alien criminals of the worst. These are murderers and killers that they've been sending to El Salvador, and this guy wants to fucking have them sent back here. So to our country in the United States. Therefore, Donald Trump has put this executive order in place. And like he had told the fake news media that, our country has been invaded by this last imposter administration. I mean, again, you had the borders open, allowing illegal aliens to come into this country just so they could get votes, knowing that this election wasn't going to be fixed like the last one. So they needed all the votes they could get. Still didn't work, but that was their hope. Let's just open up the gates. Let's allow all these illegals in. We'll get the credit for it. They'll like us, and then they're going to vote for imposter Sleepy Joe Biden. Of course, he was ousted by his own party. He then, filthy Kamala Harris, that bitch, she was destroyed in a real election, just like Joe Biden was destroyed by Donald Trump in the last election. And again, like I always say, that will be shown. Stay tuned. I'm not sure when yet. As the process goes, we got a lot of other things to do first, but eventually it will be shown. Donald Trump, 3-time winner in reality, the greatest president alive. The judge is sitting there crying. He wants to be updated like he's in the office. Like, oh, are these prisoners coming back? Are they coming back? No, man, they're in El Salvador, sitting in jail cells, and that's where they're going to stay. And any of these corrupt judges that want to come and play this game, or any corrupt people, they're going to be put in their place eventually. They're going to be behind jail bars with the rest of these losers, where they belong. You have other judges, though, that have come out in different states and have sided with President Trump in other different things. They were trying to have non-citizen voting counted in New York. A judge in New York favored. No, that's not happening. You're a citizen. If you're a citizen, you're going to vote. If you're a non-citizen, you're not going to vote. Very simple. The Democrats wanted that in New York. They didn't get it. So we do have some judges that are, doing a lot of judges that are doing the right thing, and then unfortunately, you're seeing the ones that aren't. They're a part of the establishment. When they say the deep state applies to so many different fields of jobs, so many different people, and it's just pathetic how these people have abused the system, taking kickbacks, taking, payoffs, whatever it is, just to favor one side over the other. We're putting an end to that shit for good. Also, today, President Trump is going to sign an executive order to end the Department of Education, finally. Department of Education in this country has amounted really to nothing much lately, right? I mean, we're polluting kids' minds with all this woke shit in schools. Kids are dropping out. Kids are failing. It's not going well in this country. So why do we need the Department of Education? It's useless. It's a great move by President Trump. Bad thing is, they say, I just heard somebody talking about it on television, saying it could take 2 to 4 years until it goes into full effect, until the department is totally closed down. We'll see what happens. But and they have to have so many, I forgot what the exact amount of Democratic senators to sign off on this, which hopefully, the right amount will come forward and do the right thing. We'll see what happens with that also. But President Trump, again, another positive thing he's doing today. Like always, he's doing positive things every day. He's doing positive things every day. I mean, it's like I look at one day and I say, how can it get so much better than this? And then like the next day or the day after, it just gets better. He says something or does something or signs something greater than before, and it just he just never amazes me. Donald Trump never amazes me. So then the Democrats, they're all pissed off at Chucky Schumer because they wanted the government to shut down. It's funny, like if Trump wants something, they don't want it, and of course vice versa, the majority of the other side. So of course, something that the Republicans are signing off on that would keep the government in session instead of, at home, they're all willing to do. And then, a lot of Democrats were like, well, no, Trump wants to do it this way, so we want to do it the other way. Well, Chuck Schumer came in and said, no, I'm saying that I'm going to agree with Trump here, and we're not going to shut down the government. And all the Democrats are pissed off at him, and they say that he's old and he needs to be replaced. The same old story. When somebody goes against the far left agenda, now trust me, Chuck Schumer, I don't trust Chuck Schumer. I mean, to me he is far left, and he's been, however you want to say it, manipulated, bribed. I'm not sure. I mean, I was telling a friend the other day, I said I remember when they were doing one of these galas a few months ago, and Chuck Schumer was sitting on stage, and Trump was throwing jokes out. He was up on the stage talking, and Chuck Schumer was right next to him, and he actually said, Chuck Schumer, he's like, he's a good guy, but and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And he said he's a good guy, but he says he's being manipulated. He said, more or less, like he was throwing a hint. So I had another friend at my job actually that was saying Chuck Schumer is on Trump's team, and this is a Democrat, and he said I don't trust Chuck Schumer at all anymore. He's like, fuck Chuck Schumer. He's like, and I said, no, but he's still bad mouthing Trump on TV, and we got to get Trump. Trump isn't doing good things and blah blah blah. And he says it doesn't matter what he says. He says he's just saying that. He says they're really on the same team. It's possible. I mean, they're, I'm not saying, I like I said, everything I've seen from Chuck Schumer, especially since I've been following politics the last several years, he don't seem like a good guy. But sometimes bad people, they change. Also, sometimes there's agreements made. So like, they may have dirt on Chuck Schumer, and then, they may say to Chuck Schumer, look, we got dirt on you and we could put you away for a long time, but like, do you want to work with us? Like, do you since you're at the top of the Democratic Party, like, do you want to work with us, or do you want to pay the penalty? So maybe that's the situation. I mean, who knows? We're going to see as time goes on. But I think, anytime that Chuck Schumer sides with something that Donald Trump wants to do, of course, that's going to, stir the pot in the Democratic Party. And then, of course, you have all these new agenda losers, Jasmine Crockett, especially AOC, I think the two worst. There's some, I mean, there's actually a lot of them, but I put those two at the top of trying to be the new up and coming, young, women that they're trying to push this party into this far radical left direction. And I think it's just funny how they keep saying that Elon's doing, these illegal things with Doge. Meanwhile, he's coming right after them, because trust me, both of them, it will come out, have both got funded, I'm sure, in different ways, illegally, and they're part of the problem. So like Elon says, the ones that speak the loudest are the ones that are guilty. Like the ones that will come out immediately when they're accused of something or they don't agree with something and they talk the loudest, they're usually the most guilty, at least in these terms of Doge. Like speaking out against something positive where we're taking, you know, people that weren't even sitting at their jobs, like working from home, and eliminating those positions. These people are making like free money doing nothing. And then also, again, all this money that's been going from the taxpayers to all these other countries and thrown back. I say the same thing every episode, but I got to remind people, or I need the viewers to spike up. It's not an easy business on YouTube. Like, it's not easy to gain viewers. You're really relying on your people that you know, and and then you're hoping that like new viewers find you. To do that, I think you have to get a bigger, you have to have like a bigger way of getting a platform out there, your platform out there. So it's like, if you knew somebody that's like totally famous and that's running a podcast, like if you know Joe Rogan and you said, hey Joe, can you put me on your show, and and then can I bring up my podcast? Then shit, people, all those listeners that Joe Rogan gets for being the #1 podcast, you'd be in a good spot, because you'd be like, oh shit, okay, I enjoyed listening to this guy talk. Yeah, let me check out his podcast. And then I'd probably get a shit pot of viewers. That's not the case. I have met Joe Rogan, but we're not friends. He's signed things for me in my life, and he's been a nice guy to me, but like, I don't know the guy personally or anything. So like, I'm just saying I need a situation like that where I could get, my platform on a bigger stage faster, otherwise I'm just kind of like just relying on, wording things certain ways and hoping that people come across my podcast and check it out. And again, like if you're listening to me, it's kind of like the same as listening to a lot of other people that are speaking the truth. I'd say the difference in me is that, I do have a gimmick, damn, I look fucking good to start with. I do come out without a shirt. I don't let you see too much. I let you see my traps, and I let you see part of my chest. And I'm always usually putting on a different MAGA hat, which I have a huge collection of. Sometimes I'm wearing my sports teams. I'm rocking a sports team hat, like a Raiders hat or a Yankee hat, which I don't think I've put in one of these yet, but a Raider hat I think I have. Anyway, this is my shtick. I mean, I don't see many people coming on and doing podcasts with, MAGA gear on all the time, or especially coming shirtless. And you get to see the beautiful view of background in beautiful South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Anyway, enough of talking about my trying to gain views. I'm really just trying to get the word out there, and if it could gain views in return, then that's great. I just want people to hear, real shit that's going on in the world. So we had also Elon Musk, of course, the astronauts that are sitting up there for fucking, what was it, 6 months or 7 months, and they were supposed to be brought down after, I think, a very short time, a couple of months. And, of course, the last administration, the imposter administration, leaves them up there, basically to rot in space. And Elon had offered at the time that the imposter administration, when Biden, the imposter, was still in his fake office, he said, no, I can go up and get them. And they didn't want any part of that. They knew where Elon was aligning with Trump, and they looked at it like a political move, and they just said, no, we're going to leave them up there. So finally, I think it was the 18th of March, it was Tuesday, Elon went up there and he brought down everybody that was up there, and it's a great thing. So Elon is doing so many good things. Of course, he's getting downed by the people that are the bad people. That's the only people that are downing Elon, or the people that are supporting the bad people and think that they're still supporting the good people because that's their party, and they just think that that they're all speaking the truth all the time, and that's not the case. When they've again robbed this country and stolen so much money from you, the taxpayers. So anyway, that was a very positive thing this week. Everybody should have been praising it. Everybody should have been complimenting Elon. So, it's a great thing. Again, the executive orders that Trump is signing, more great stuff. There's really, we're going to touch on the war situation with Russia and Ukraine. I guess Trump had talked to President Putin. I think also this was on the 18th, on Tuesday. It might have been on the 17th, Monday. I think it was Tuesday the 18th. And supposedly they had a long conversation for 90 minutes, they said. And they talked about a lot of things that Trump didn't get into, a lot of stuff that they were talking about. But of course, particularly putting a ceasefire on this war. And I guess Putin had agreed to a temporary limited ceasefire, but there's still other things they're going over before he agrees to a full ceasefire. And of course, to get this eventually to where there's an agreement where there's no more war, a peace agreement. We'll see how long this takes. I know Trump, when he first was coming back in, he said I could get this done in like 48 hours. Wishful thinking. I mean, listen, in reality, I mean, he's a great talker and he's a great negotiator, but there's a lot of shit going on. And like I've been telling you about the Ukrainian government, it's really bad. It's really polluted. Zelensky's included in that. So I'm sure that this involves Putin wanting other things that, like that they actually have a real election in Ukraine, that they, maybe that Zelensky is outed. There, some of the people in their government, I mean, have been doing, so many have been doing very bad things. And again, you're not going to hear this on the fake news legacy media because it's all a money scheme. It's just everybody throwing money to other places and getting kickbacks. And it's very sickening that this is what this country has come to for a while now. It's gotten really bad. You just have a lot of people in the government that are just, and this is in every country, I'm sure, but at least I think most, abusing their laws just so they could get richer. And it's a sad thing, but Donald Trump is back. President Trump is back in office because he wants to get it cleaned up going forward. So there's no more of this shit. He wants to end the deep state, which he's been in the process of doing and which he'll continue to do. And listen, be a world peace, a guy that's just going to create world peace. I mean, he's basically stepping his foot in and trying to mend relationships with other countries, and end war. He doesn't want to continue war. He wants to end war. So, and again, a lot of these people in government, they're good with war because they just keep making more money off of war. If war is going, they actually get richer and they make more money off of it. So as sad as that sounds, and people die, these higher ups, they don't give a fuck as long as they keep making more money. It's always that word, money, money. It's a powerful thing, but it's also a lot of corrupted people. It's poisoned a lot of corrupted people. Or made a lot of sane-minded people poison their minds and made them corrupted. That's what I should say. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to touch on. Not really. This is kind of a quick week. This isn't going to be the longest podcast because I just don't have that much to go talk about. It's really just more positive things. It's Trump and Elon doing great things. So many people in government are doing great things. But again, there's a lot of people that aren't. And, we got to get those people out and, weed them out, get all the bad ones out and put as many good ones in as we possibly can. Going forward, I mean, in any field, in any position, especially these judges. I mean, I've always said, just like anything else, judges, there's so many corrupted judges, and eliminate all the corrupt, put in clean people. You got to do thorough background checks. The minute that you start seeing weird things going on, where things start seeming politicized, that's when these people gotta lose their jobs. Like, you can't ever have people in these higher up positions, be, just judging things in certain ways because of politics. You have to judge things by the books. Again, people taking payoffs, kickbacks, getting richer, just a lot of bad souls, man. It's so like I said, it's a sad thing to see, but it's also a positive thing to see going forward, getting these people out and getting better people in to a lot of these positions. And especially in this country and in any country, you should be for your country first. So Donald Trump is America first agenda. Any country, France, Germany, wherever, should be their country first. I mean, that's the way it should be everywhere. So going forward, that's what we need. Presidents, government, everything, America first agenda. And like I've always said, the minute that you don't hear an America first agenda, you know that that's the sign of you're being bamboozled, and there's definitely corrupt shit going on if you're saying we should fund the Ukraine over our own country. Okay, there's a major problem with that. That's when you know that there's a lot of people that have their hand in the cookie jar that are doing illegal things and trying to make illegal money and get richer off of us in this country. So the taxpayers, but going forward, Elon, you're going to see the actual names eventually. There'll be names, there'll be not just groups or how much money we show that was taken and stolen. There'll be names matching the money stolen, and that's going to be the best part about it. I think that's about all I want to touch on. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's supposedly some politician, some low-end politician in France that was joking around and telling other politicians in France that the Statue of Liberty should go back to France. Yeah, not happening, bro. Statue of Liberty is right where it belongs. You are lucky, like if we didn't step in, that you would be speaking German in France. You need to remember that. Like our beautiful press secretary said, she made that, and she made that what was supposed to be a little joke to make people laugh, but in reality, it's the truth. I mean, if the United States didn't step in, they would be owned by Germany. I mean, and they would be speaking German over there. So I mean, show some fucking respect, and pay respect to the King, Donald Trump. You're not getting the Statue of Liberty back. That's in beautiful New York City, and that's where it's staying. Sports talk, don't really have much. Raiders not really making that many more moves. We got the draft next month. Yankees, spring training's coming to an end. We got the regular season starting next Thursday. That's the 27th of March. They open up in New York in the Bronx Zoo against the Brewers. And the Bulls, they've been playing better lately. I think they've won like 5 out of their last 8. They hold on to the 9 spot in the East for now. I'd like to see them get the 8th. So they only have to win 1 play-in game to get to the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Blackhawks, season's almost over. Horrible season again. Didn't expect it, like I've been saying, but it is what it is. Next year, I'm sure better things, I would hope. Other sports, you got the NCAA tournament starting tonight, I believe, for college basketball. We'll see what happens with that. I don't have any favorites. My old man is a Tennessee fan, so I guess I'll pull for them just because, he likes them. And that's really about it for this week. So, like always, make America great again. And shout out to the Tate brothers, Andrew and Tristan Tate. They've been making their way around the United States. So they started here, they went to Vegas, they went to LA. They came, or at least Andrew came back here for I don't know about Tristan, and now I think they're in New York. I know they got to be back in Romania this weekend. I think on the 23rd they got to report back there. But listen, these are good guys. They speak the truth. It's all going to be shown that all this bullshit, these supposed women that have come out and say that they raped them and all this stuff, this is just more establishment bullshit. I believe these guys, they're everything they say. So good guys. And shout out to them, and shout out to everybody like them and me and anybody else that's speaking the truth. We just got to have good people going forward everywhere. It's not about parties, it's about doing the right things. That's it, doing the right thing. I mean, not being corrupted, not lying about somebody else because they want to do the right thing, like they have been on Trump. And well, we're gonna make all these stories up, and we're gonna come with all these prosecutions and try to put them in jail, and it didn't work. You lost. You're gonna lose worse and worse when you're behind the cell, and even worse, So it is what it is. America first. Make America great again. Today I'm rocking the white and gold official MAGA hat, trumpstore.com. They have all your needs, your official needs, official merchandise, not the bootleg stuff. You could tell the difference. The make, it's better, it's more expensive, but it's more expensive because it's better. It's not a cheap, flimsy hat that's gonna fall apart with crappy little looking letters on it and everything else. This hat is top of the line. Trump store sells top of the chain merchandise, hats, polos, shirts, all kinds of stuff. I mean, glasses, cups, underwear, everything. So anyway, make America great. Donald Trump, the greatest president of all time. I'll see you next week. See ya.